If you're a mid-level to C-suite leader who wants to own your growth and figure out your next small, brave move to achieve your leadership goals, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Small Brave Moves podcast, a weekly deep dive on how to be braver in leadership and in life for exceptional results. I'm your host, Nicole Bianchi, best-selling author, certified master executive coach, NSA certified speaking professional, chief bravery officer, and tough talk expert. If you're ready to become a better, braver, and more authentic leader, let's dive in. Your team is not broken, they're drifting, and you've been calling it busy season for 6 months. Well, it's June, and the vision you sold them in January, it's dead. Nobody has said it out loud, including you, and that's the problem. Here's the truth about team alignment that nobody wants to admit. Alignment is not a meeting. It's not an offsite. It's not a deck on a wall. It's a living thing, and it slips quietly every quarter without anyone trying. Priorities shift, new projects land, and people make assumptions. And a team that left January rowing together is now rowing in slightly different directions, and they're being polite about it. So that's not failure, that's gravity. And the question that you need to ask yourself if you're brave enough to do something about it, how do you know your team has drifted? Well, there's 5 signals. The first one is meetings cover the same ground without resolution. Number 2, tension, it's the background noise, it's this low hum that everyone's working around instead of addressing. 3, effort's high, but momentum is low. Your team is working hard, just not together. 4, assumptions are doing the work that conversations they should be doing. And 5, this is the one I see most in senior teams. The vision you set in January has quietly become someone else's job to worry about. And if 3 or more of those just hit you in the chest, your team needs a how we work conversation this week. The how we work talk is the first of the 5 tough talks from my best-selling framework. And there's a reason why it comes first. It's the foundational conversation. It defines how a team operates, how the team communicates, how the team decides, and holds each other accountable. And here's what I love about this one. You don't need January energy to have it. You don't need a new fiscal year. You don't need permission. You just need 90 minutes and the courage to say, we need to talk about how we're working together right now. So I worked with a senior leadership team last month, and it's 8 executives, all super smart, but very frustrated, all results oriented, but just this tension. And they have been grinding since January. KPIs are slipping, meetings are running long, tension's rising, but never naming itself. And they thought they had a strategy problem, and they didn't. They just hadn't talked about how they want to work together in 9 months. So we blocked 3 hours, and I asked them 3 questions. By hour 2, they had named 6 unspoken agreements that had been silently broken. And by hour 3, they had reset how they would operate for the rest of the year. So 2 weeks later, the CEO called me, and he was like, Nicole, it's like a different team. Same people, different agreements. And that's what this conversation does. So here are the 3 questions. Write them down. 1, what is working that we want to protect and keep doing? 2, what is not working that we need to name and address? 3, what agreements do we want to make and remake going forward? Now, the magic really sits in question 3, because alignment is not about identifying problems. It's about making deliberate commitments together about how you'll operate from this point forward. That is where the accountability has something to grip. So here's your small brave move this week. Ask yourself 1 question. Does my team need a how we work conversation right now? And if the answer is yes, or even a maybe that's your signal. Don't wait for Q4. Don't wait for things to get worse. Don't wait for the offsite. Block 90 minutes this week or next. Open it with honesty. Ask the 3 questions. That's the whole brave move. And let me say this clearly. The version of this conversation in your head is way worse than the real one. The real one ends with a plan. And you don't get aligned by accident. You choose alignment repeatedly, intentionally, and courageously. The teams that win in 2026 aren't the ones with the smartest strategy. They're the ones that are brave enough to keep talking about how we work together. So until next week, have the talk. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Small Brave Moves podcast. If you're wanting to take this work even deeper, I'm here to help. From engaging in inspirational keynote speeches to transformational coaching and workshops for leaders and teams, page-turning books, online courses, and enlightening leadership development retreats. There are so many ways that we can work together to take your leadership to the next level. For more information, check out the show notes, and let's do this together, one small brave move at a time. See you next week.